What's in it for the black people? What's in it? What's in it for the black people? I'm in it. What's in it for the black people? What's in it? What's in it for the black people? I'm in it. For the black people. 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 What's in it for the black people? Let's hear it. What's in it for the black people? Don't fear it. What's in it for the black people? Let's hear it. What's in it for the black people? Don't fear it. For the black people. 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 What's in it for the black people? You know it. What's in it for the black people? Let's show it. What's in it for the black people? You know it. What's in it for the black people? Let's show it. For the black people. 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 You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. Do me a favor, take a moment, share the broadcast. If you got dropped off, if they cut you off, they ended the broadcast because we was playing the music from the artist, and so they killed us. It's kind of crazy. I wonder how they do that, though. Well, I guess that was, I don't know. We got to get a meeting with Facebook. But, you know, the fact of the matter is, y'all, I think Chicago is becoming or has become an international city underneath us. And I think we may just be along for the ride at this point. I don't know that the new mayor of Chicago, or first of all, I don't know if Mayor Lightfoot is reelected. What do you think the odds realistically? And I feel like this is a full, that we don't own the rights though, doesn't go, they don't look at that. Anyway, Riis, I feel like the mayor just basically put her chips down for the Latino community. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like you do that during Black History Month and you make that announcement. I think we're done. I don't want to say I think we're done, but I do feel like this is a crazy, it was crazy to watch that. And I don't know that Black people are still here. I don't want to say I don't know that Black people are still here. But I feel like the plan is no longer based around we're not part of the plan. I feel like we're a workaround. And I don't know how am I crazy for thinking you just don't make that announcement during Black History Month? Like, we ain't even 2 weeks in. Now, I understand that they want to do it because they need time to promote it. But you mean to tell me that couldn't be March 1?
Am I being hypersensitive? Like, let me ask y'all a question. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. Am I even being sensitive about the fact that this is Black History Month and they make the announcement that Summertime Shy will be launched with reggaeton? Am I wrong? Or should I interpret that to mean something? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. The mayor made what seems to me, first of all, Riis, she made a mistake initially. Because the reggaeton festival, I was asking, I thought reggaeton was, they say it's actually originated in Puerto Rico and Colombia, which have very strong black roots, let's say. Slave boat stopped there. But I do ask, or I do wonder, what does that, I mean, the symbolism of launching that during Black History Month is not lost on me. And maybe I feel like, am I being hypersensitive? Or do I feel like, or should we feel like that was disrespectful? Because, Riis, I honestly, I feel like it's disrespectful to be talking about anything, especially cultural, other than Black history during Black History Month. Don't forget, though, if you have children that have 3 Black History Month facts and you want to have them give us a call at 872-259-7474, we will give them a family 4-pack. So if your child knows 3 Black History facts and calls us at 872-259-7474, we will give them the opportunity to win a family. They don't even win. If they come call, we will give them a family 4-pack as long as they know 3 Black History facts. But I want to ask, was it disrespectful? And am I crazy to be saying that it's disrespectful to be launching anything that's not black during Black History Month? I feel like there was a time when it was unheard of. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Riis, go to the phone line. Caller, you on the Maze Jackson show. Was that disrespectful or nah?
Shalom, Mikey.
Jake, bring us up to speed, Jake. I know you got something for me today. I be looking forward to your calls now, Jake, because I know you're going to impart some wisdom on us. So break it down for me, brother. Break it down.
You don't think they black Puerto Ricans? They are black, bro. And some they got the Portuguese influence in them, you know what I mean, when they got conquered and things of that nature, but they off the same boat. And if you want to claim the word black, you might want to get another word, bro. Anybody with anybody with melanin that got skin like ours, wait till they come. They might talk Spanish. They couldn't, you know what I mean? They got conquered also. The Spaniards from Europe and the Portuguese from Europe, from Portugal. You know what I mean? Influenced and owned them and things of that nature. But a lot of them, wait till you see, them others are black, bro. Them others are black, blackly black. Like you and me.
You didn't see the come but Jake, you ain't see dude. You ain't see the dude she was talking to.
He was a brother, but he had his hair was down. You can tell you got that Spaniard in him, but he was a brother. You can't say white and Latin, bro.
Jake, I'm telling you, man, I went to Puerto Rico, man. First of all, I'm just telling you, this Puerto Rico conversation is how I lost my original co-host. So we're going to start there. But then the other thing I was going to say, remember, I sleep with these people. I know them. Remember, because we was gonna pick the Puerto Ricans before the Jamaicans, so I can't go there. But I'm gonna also tell you, Jake. Wait. They the same, bro. A lot of them is the same.
Jake,
I went to Puerto Rico. Hold on, Jake. I went to Puerto Rico.
I know you've been there.
And when I went to Puerto Rico, I went to go get a pedicure. Don't make fun of me, but I went to go get a pedicure, and they had the girl did not want to do my feet because I was dark. Real talk, bro. It's like
I can dig it.
Hey, so
I can dig that.
I was like,
I can dig it, but that was where you was at. But you would have went to some other parts, like I can't think of it. You go to some other parts, they would welcome you, bro. They would. That's all you would see. People look just like us. Only thing is they speak Spanish. That's it. So, I don't see anything wrong with it. Plus, the city needs the revenue, man. We'll do it. And us at our gatherings, a lot of it be, they be doing too much. How many people get shot? Can't even gather, man, in peace and have a good time. On the whole. Especially young guys. It's just, we doing too much, bro. So we got to get our act together. We can't put it on everybody else. They come gather, they're going to have a good time. You probably going to have people to this. They're going to get drunk, just like a lot of fools get high, and that's that, and enjoy their festival. You know what I mean? And get that bread. They want the revenue, man. They need it. That's a big, it's a big time move. You're a businessman. It ain't nothing personal. It's business.
It's just,
I
gotta go get the Rosetta Stone, dog.
Right.
So Jake's saying go take your Rosetta Stone because the time is ticking. All right, that's my man Jacob Israel, all the way from the H, Houston. All right, man. Hey, bro. I don't know, dog. Don't forget, if you got a Black History Month fact, you have a child that has Black History Month fact, and they want to go to the Monster Gym. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. I saw somebody, I think Amari said, she is just mocking us now. I do feel like that. Like, I feel like the mayor is trolling us as Black people. Let me ask you, though, Riis, am I wrong for feeling like you just don't do that during Black History Month? Or is it just like at this point, it's just like you just like Black History Month is just like it's nothing sacred about Black History Month. Like, I just feel like.
I think you're right to feel that way, and then I think is in the world today, I think it's like the same thing. Like, it's just really, promoting it. I mean, I would love to see her promote more stuff in Black History Month, but I can understand.
So, like, my thing is, so do we not have something big in the summer coming? Like, is there not, like, so again, how about for Black History Month, Chosen Few, the home of house music, but that's because they're stealing the Chosen Few and making it downtown with the House Music Festival, the International House Music Festival, as compared to the Chosen Few. My question, is Black History Month sacred at all? Does a city that meant so much to Black history owe something to this month even? And I don't. You know what the other part that's bothering me? So I just saw the other day on Facebook that Al Kennedy is a member of Phi Beta Sigma. I didn't know that. But Al Kennedy, when I was a kid, or when I first got started in the business, and still does through concerts. Riis, like, it's crazy to me that the mayor is giving up Grant Park again to people. You know how we say Chicago is the best city in the summer, in the world in the summer? Does anybody ever say that? You ever heard that? Like, in the summertime, it's no reason for you to leave if you live in Chicago because everything is cracking. Think about the fact that money, it's not Chicagoans that's even making that dough. Like, we don't have no Chicago promoters. Like, what happened to Jam Productions? What happened to, like, when you, like, again, think about the fact that she calling Mike Tower from Puerto Rico to have the biggest weekend at the best site, and we got to go to other people to get a cut to even ask, can we work at they joint? Right? So there's nobody in Chicago that can throw a reggaeton festival. We can't hire them. Like, Mike Tower gets to bring his whole production. Like, this used to be this. We don't want nobody sent. Who is the people that are from Chicago that eat off of this? Yeah, there'll be rental. But, like, it's a difference between a Chicagoan promoting and putting that on. She said, we're doing this in conjunction with Lollapalooza, who comes here once a year, burns up our park, and then pays $300,000 to make $30 million. Think about this La Sueño Fest is gonna make the city will make money, but who are the Chicagoans? Now I ain't gonna front, cause don't act like we was always eating on that. And yeah, we can go, and Jake is saying we could go make money, but the reality is, who's cut in? Right? Like, now I want to know who's at the equity level from Chicago. It's crazy to me that somebody could come into Chicago, take $250 million up out this mug, and be gone until next year, and we can't touch them. So this last one, what y'all think is gonna make? 200 million, 300 million, right? Let's just say that Mike Tower gets 1/3. Let's say the city get 1/3. Where does the money? Who from Chicago wins on this? Yeah, the stage company. Yeah, the special events company. But who is the equity? Hey, Riis, and can we throw a Chicago hip hop festival? Can we throw a hip hop festival in Grand Park? No, because y'all done ruined it.
No. They don't tell us that. They don't say, Chicago, we got the Bud. Every year we do the Bud Billiken.
No, but they done made the Bud Billiken 2 weeks. Oh, you know what else I want to talk about? I want to talk today. I didn't put it on my paper. I want to talk about, because I was just thinking about this. So think about this. Chicago, internationally renowned, world-class city, entertainment around the world, and it still ain't a place for Negroes to go kick it. Think about that. Did you see the story about Nipsey's in the paper? So Nipsey's, which we're gonna talk about that at a different point. But Nipsey's, it's like we're not welcome in our own city almost. Black people ain't even welcome in Chicago. Not on the south side, not downtown, not like, I just really feel like we are getting boxed in at every think about the gravity of that. Like, there was a time when a festival like that, like, that's part of the reason that I'd be like, think about, we took the taste away, which was Chicago, and everybody from Chicago could come, and now you're replacing it with all these festivals that only kids from the suburbs with millions of dollars and $15,000 to buy a weekend band in a pass. Riis, how much do a weekend band cost for one of them things?
Depending on if you get it early, but it can range from anywhere to like 100 to 200.
A day?
No, that's for like the whole week. So like a day is probably like about 70, something like that a day.
So think about that. All that money leaving, and it's really for the kids in the suburbs. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about that, and then I want to bring Nipsey's into the conversation. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Nipsey's is the restaurant in the 8th Ward that it seems like the city is moving to shut down. Riis, here we're going to talk about it. And if you know something about Nipsey's and you want to give us a call, 872-259-7474. I really don't know where in the city black people are welcome. Like, where are black people welcome in the city? It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
This is Monster Jam. Get your savings coupon from participating Great Clip salons and save 20% on select tickets. See savings coupon for restrictions and details. Coming to Allstate Arena February 25th through 27th.
And now, traffic and weather.
I love being black. Do you love being black? Yeah, I love being black. Hey, do this for my people all across the globe. Hey, it's break. The skin of men fit me fine, tailor-made, yeah, I'm comfortable. And so it seems I'm still chasing my dreams. They told me, watch my steps, they want to pull the rug from under you. This is transparency, my life 3D. You live every word that I utter, reporting live from the gutter. Where the mind's hard to change, but we don't give up on our brothers and sisters. Cause we all need one another. The time's getting closer, revolution, feel it coming. I can smell it in the air. Inhale it, let it embody you. Because chances are the cops pull you over, they body you. Plus we don't trust each other, so there's just another obstacle. Why jump hurdles to make a change? It ain't optional. Olympian mindset in this booth with my binoculars. I see my vision getting clear. Just as what a prophet do. My music touch the people's soul. Black power gospel tune. So many styles, watch me kick them like they soccer moves. Falling rank and file, this is my platoon. Soldiers at attention, ain't no Willie lynching. This the program. Who they think they kidding? Reinvent the system. Total reconstruction of our mental stigma. This ain't a game, boy. Still they think I'm talking about Nintendo. That's a shame, boy. Augment reality. Better fix your brain, boy. I love my people, hope they love me black. I'm going hard and ain't no holding back. Watch me react, I put my fist up in the skies like a beacon for believers that one day we return to our greatest if we seek it all the glory we can obtain and keep reaching. I'm painting this picture, I hope you see it. Guess what the theme is? I love being black. We turning up, I love being black. Say it loud, man, I love being black. One more time, I love being black. Hey. Well, how about you? Done seen these tunes too? Customize for you a little something you can groove to. Feeling good about yourself, melanated, mood muse. Always service humble pie. We don't care about who's who. Light brown or dark skin, this right here's for you too. We are the gods of the earth, living proof truth. Say it loud if you black and proud. I salute you and that's a fact. Where you at? Let me hear you say it back. I love being black. We turning up. I love being black. Say it loud, man. I love being black. One more time. I love being black. Hey. Super melanation, renovation of our databases. Gotta fix the trinity to make it past the matrix. There's a rabbit in the hole. No decision, you gon' chase it or just shove it for complacency. Here's your motivation. Black power in your veins. Up to us to build a nation. European mental detox completely we erase it. Cause you can't keep fighting over old information. Probably bring it right back if you love being black. I love being black. We turning up. I love being black. Say it loud, man. I love being black. One more time. I love being black. Hey. I do this for my people all across the map. Easy for the ones who don't identify with being black. Hebrews the best elixir. Go ahead and try your best. It's truth serum, I let loose spirits. The ancestors speak to me. I spit the truth. Hear it. You broken souls here to re-engineer them so that they fearless. This precious atmospheric as the hell is spinning. Trying to strategize a way so we can start winning. It begins with pride of yourself. Embracing this feeling. Said no new friends. That's what happened to the village. Too much individualism. It's easier to pillage. I'm just making this appearance for coherence. So you can understand what we up against. Hit the reset button, switch covenants. It's my contract to the people that I'm publishing. It's a new era, hood to hood, feel the power and I'm loving it. Turn up, neck turn up, strapped with the black burner. Murder, keep sleeping and I shoot up the server. Corrupt the service after 5, man, it's time to purge them. We waking up and that's what got them nervous. I love being black, we turning up. I love being black, say it loud, man, I love being black. One more time, I love being black, hey.
I ran into a good old friend of yours, and I had to ask her, how have you been? She told me you were engaged and happy. My heart fell to the floor, I know it should have been me, but I couldn't can see you with no one else, but I'll believe it when I see you standing there. I'll believe it to tell you how I feel, yeah. Oh, I can't believe it. Forever, baby. I thought I was invincible, no one could take my place. I still get funny feelings when I see your face. I know the love we shared was so real. In spite of all the ups and downs that we've been through, sometimes I wish I was there with you to share your world. You were my girl, I'm still in love with you.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis, the ruler, in the building. Hey, Riis, don't forget to get your Black People First. If you come out tonight, I'll get you a Black People First sticker, and I got window signs for you, too. Hey, man, do people still be, like, sweating you about the colors? Like, if you put a red something up, you think people be mad at you over some street stuff, over colors still?
Nah, that's long gone.
Right, I was like, dang, somebody said to me.
Over East. No.
Over East?
Yeah, over East. You can't wear all red. No, you can't do that.
But this is not even going to be over East, so we're going to talk about it. But somebody came to me, and I was like, hey, man, it's red, black, and green, right? We on some black power, right? But anyway, hopefully y'all come out tonight. Y'all can get y'all one of these cool stickers. Riis, before we go to our callers, and then I want to talk to Nipsey's. And if anybody knows Teddy Gilmore and can have him call in, I'd love to talk to him. I'd love to talk to a representative from the Alderman's office or residents of the 8th Ward who are aware of Nipsey's, because I was just thinking about the mayor's announcement, and they're welcoming everyone else in. And it's crazy to me to see how everybody else is getting to take advantage of the full love of the city, and we really still just don't have a place to go or be. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. But Riis, what I'd like you to do is give me some music, because it's time for our Black History Month moment. These Black History Month moments are courtesy of urbanintellectuals.com, where they are the producers of the Black History flashcards. You got me? Yeah. So today's flashcard number 48. No, let me stop. Today's flashcard number 2, volume 1. Got to take my glasses off to see. Angela Davis, January 26, 1944 to the present. Angela Davis was a political activist, academic scholar, and author. She was the leader of the Communist Party USA in the 1960s. Her interests includes prisoner rights and co-founded the Critical Resistance, an organization working to abolish the prison industrial complex. Membership in the Communist Party led to former governor of California Ronald Reagan's request in 1969 to bar her from teaching at any university in California. She conducts research on feminism, African American studies, critical theory, Marxism, popular music, and social consciousness. Twice a candidate for vice president of the Communist Party USA ticket during the 1980s, Angela Davis, January 26, 1944 to the present. I thought Angela Davis was a Black Panther. Man, y'all have to let me know if that's the case or not. All right, Riis. Also, thank you again, according to urbanintellectuals.com. This is Black History Flashcard number 46 of Volume 1. And Riis, this one is interesting. It's called redlining. It's not a person, but it's a thing. Redlining, the practice of marking a red line on the map to delineate an area where banks would not make loans. Most frequently discriminated areas were Black inner city neighborhoods. The term redlining was coined in the late 1960s by John McKnight, a sociologist and community activist. It refers to the denial of services and selectively raised prices to residents on certain areas based on racial or ethnic composition of those areas. Banks would often lend to lower-income whites, but not to middle and upper-income Blacks. Redlining today is illegal and a component of the Civil Rights Act of 1968. Speaks against racial and geographical discrimination, that is redlining, from the Black History Flashcard, number 48, Volume 1, courtesy of Urban Intellectuals. Riis, I still think they be redlining. They just don't. They do it with it's an invisible line now, right? When they say that banks only loan to 1 in 100 blacks in business, it's like that's why we be down so bad that we get signatures for the people that are gonna eventually hurt us. They be like, "Let me give you $6 so I could steal $6 million from you." It's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis the Ruler in the building. And Riis, we said we got a caller. I want to talk. We got 2 callers. Also, I want to talk about. So I saw the reggaeton commercial. First, I feel like it's disrespectful for black people to see this, right? During Black History Month. Like, you make the announcement to welcome everybody else in a city where I feel like black people, there really is no place for black people. Made me think of the story of Nipsey's, which is the restaurant that was opened on Stony Island. I think it's 90-something in the old Leonis. And I was thinking about the fact that even as we're welcoming people from outside, like Riis, I watch people get drunk, pee in the streets, smoke weed, and it's all part of the neighborhood vibe in Fulton Market. And on 87th Street, on Stony Island, we can't figure out a place for us to be. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. I know there's a lot of mixed feelings, but I think it really just exacerbates the fact that there really is no place for us to be. Like I really don't know that we're welcome in our own city. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Caller, you on the Maze Jackson Show. What you got for me today? Caller?
This is Jerry, and it's a Black History fact.
Hey, all right. Hold on. This is who?
Jerry.
Gary. All right, Gary. What's up? Jerry?
No. It's
Jerry. All right, Jerry. How old are you, Jerry?
11.
11. Jerry, you listen to the Maze Jackson Show?
Yes.
What?
With my mom.
With your mom. Now, what school do you go to?
GMS.
Say that one more time.
GMS.
GMS. Okay, I don't know where that is, but give all your classmates a shout out and give your school a shout out, and then I'm ready to hear your Black History Month facts because we're gonna send you to Monster Jam. Tell me, give your school and your class a shout out.
What's up?
All right, that's cool. All right, tell me your Black History Month facts. I am super excited. Tell me your Black History Month facts.
It's about Huey P. Newton and how he started the Black Panther Party with Bobby Seale.
Woo! Huey P. Newton. All right, so what are your facts? He started the Black Panther Party with Bobby Seale. What else you got?
Yeah, it was in 1966, and they made it to fight back against racist police.
All right. Is that 2 or is that 3? I can count it as 2 or 3. Which one you want me to count? You got one more for me?
That's 3, I think.
That's okay. You got me. That's 3. I was trying to get some more out of that. So let me tell you what. You just made my day, Jerry. You just made my day. So look, what we need, Riis, we got his phone number. All right, so Jerry, this is what we're gonna do. Is the number? I hope you're calling from your mom's phone. Tell your mom we're not crazy. If it is your phone, let her know. We're gonna have someone call and get your information, and then we will get you. You can come pick up the tickets, and we will make sure you're at Monster Jam. And I think I'm gonna put a little extra something in there so you can get you some popcorn and a good time for the family. I am so excited. Congratulations for being my first young person to call in. I'm super proud of you, and you keep studying them Black History Month facts. All right.
All right.
Good job, Jerry.
Good job, Jerry. Hey, Riis. Give me some applause or something. Make some noise for my man Jerry. That ain't the applause, man. Make them loud. Y'all make some noise for Jerry. All right, Jerry. You are the man. You the man. Jerry, where your mom at? Where your mom at?
I'm right here.
Hey, Mom. All right, now, Mom, is this your phone?
No, that's his phone.
Okay, so, Mom, let me let you know. She's going to text the information to, so we got the, the last two got a 01 in them, right? We're going to text you. And then we'll get up with you and make sure that you get the tickets and you can stop by, pick them up. And then I'm going to make sure that y'all have a great time. Thank you so much. What's your name, Mom?
Wonderful.
Angela, thank you for listening to the Maze Jackson Show. And thank you for making sure that Jerry knows some Black history. Y'all made my day with that. Like, I'm all over here cheesing. I'm like excited, like Jerry. All right, man. And Jerry, I'm going to tell you, don't be surprised if we put you somewhere where you get some dirt on you. All right, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. Jerry Young
Thank
King.
You.
Oh, okay, cool. Riis, text to Neil their information and she'll take care of everything. All right, so just text. I'm sorry, Tanil. All right, so thank you. Hey, man, that was dope. That was dope. Young Jerry called in with his Black History Month fact. We need to make that a promo, too. We need to cut that, pull that out, because we got to get our little young people in on the, and they be listening. Jerry has some black, and then did you notice his Black History Month included a member of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated? That Jerry's a smart man. Smart man. All right, DJ, I'm going to be looking for you in a minute. Not you, Daquan. DJ know who I'm talking about. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Riis, I want to say thank you to everybody from WBGX 1570 AM, but I bet y'all from WBGX 1570 AM should tune in because we're going to be talking about Nipsey's. And even as Mayor Lightfoot welcomes La Sueño, Puerto Rico. Remember, Puerto Rico. Oh, Puerto Rico. They welcoming everybody into the city even while we have no place to go. We're going to talk about Nipsey's. And not just Nipsey's, but is it legal for Black people to have a drink in the city of Chicago? And do we have to go somewhere else? Talk about it some more when we come back. It's the Maze Jackson Show.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Today, the Biden administration is releasing what it calls a new strategy to fight domestic terrorism. Following a 100-day review, federal officials are now laying out a new plan hoping to deter, detect, and prosecute domestic terror.
They went to the Capitol waving their flags and looking for smoke. He was out there looking for justice. They was over there looking for votes. Ashley Babbitt was with him and told all the people that nothing could stop us. She climbed through the Capitol window, breached security, and called a shot, bro. The media say she a veteran. They paint the picture to make her look greater, but she disrespected the same country that she served. That makes her a traitor. They was fighting police, resisting arrest. On God, I couldn't believe it. I guess blue lives only tend to really matter when it's convenient. Hey, these are the times we witness in history, all because they didn't get a victory. United States is so contradictory. We get equal rights, that's a mystery. Politicians, they more like magicians. You know they got tricks up their sleeve. We point out the flaws that's up in this country. You know they gonna tell us to leave. Somebody try to help me understand it. Always seems like a double standard. They be out here leaving us empty-handed to certain rights we are not granted. The media is the culprit when it comes to the comparison. Cause when it comes to race, they always changing up the narrative. It's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know. I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know. I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. And that's on the real. You know what we know. I say it's terrorism. They say you a patriot, call you a hero. I call it terrorism. We still out here trying to get our reparations, but the government pump faking out here hesitating. I'm out here trying to keep my peace, so I keep meditating. The media make us look bad, they taint our reputation. Look, it's so sad that COVID causing toe tags. You claim you so patriotic, but you ain't wearing no mask. You out here wilding with your MAGA flags and showing your ass. You wanna be part us some type of revolution so bad. Look, you talk revolution and constitutional rights, homie. I guess we forgot about back in the days when all of the business was whites only. Yeah. George Floyd got justice. Juneteenth got much respect. They made it a national holiday. Man, it's all good, but cut the check. They're giving out all of these vaccines, putting it in you like caffeine. Was it all in the part of the plan? I bet money like DraftKings. It's land of the free, home of the brave. 1776, we wasn't free till 1865, so we wasn't part of that shit. And that there's terrorism. 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 Terrorism.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Ty Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happening in town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you can put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis, the ruler, in the building. It is 8 o'clock. Shout out to my man, Jerry. Shout out to Jerry, Boberi, Fana, Foferi. He's my Jerry. Right? Shout out to Jerry, man. He called in. He broke the ice. Got the first young caller to call in with the Black History Month. Parents, could y'all do us a solid? If you got children that you make listen to the show, like, I think that there's probably nothing better than that black people like to do than be proud of our own children and to see and tell the stories. And I think, like, you know, I really wish I could have a pageant where I could make all the black kids come on and cite you got to get on the TV and you got to do like a Black History quote, right? And you sit down and you say, my name is Jerry. And my Black History fact is, and we have a Black History where they could see it and they could go on their YouTube channel and all the kids could watch and see them do they. All right. It's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host. Have them kids, them children's call in. And if they surprise me, I'm going to just make Auntie Neil work. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. If you live in the Pill Hill area, if you like to go out, if you are watching, I think this Reggaeton Fest says to me that Black people are, everybody is welcome in Chicago, but Black people. I would love for them, I would like to get an understanding. Shout out to Sister Africa, who is reaching out to Teddy and to Boosie. Both brothers that I know that have been integral into the nightlife lifestyle since so many of us got out of it. But Teddy Gilmore was actually an originator of kind of the Black party scene. You remember Club Net? Yeah, Riis, you don't know because you was a baby. You was probably running around in diapers or something. We was partying at the Museum of Science and Industry. I mean, bro would get like the State of Illinois building. He would get all these crazy places and really took, like when Black people used to dress up to go to parties and it would be like everybody would be fly. We was living in a rap video. And brother Boosie, right? Bootsy, not Boosie, Bootsy. Y'all may know him from Illinois State, but you also knew him as one of the purveyors of entertainment and nightlife in Chicago. We're going to talk about the challenges that they're having at Nipsey's right now. I remember when they opened it, I was like, man, we don't know how it's going to go. But I was just thinking about it. I just don't know where Black people are welcome, by Black people or white people. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. But let's do this, Riis. Let's go to the live line. Caller, you on the Maze Jackson Show. What you got for me today?
Hey, what's up? How y'all doing?
All good. How about you?
I'm good. But listen, I was listening to what you were saying about the whole what's the Reggaeton Festival or whatnot. But yeah, listen, y'all already know how it goes. Everyone else gets, the tangibles. They get the festivals, they get the money, and she probably, if she will announce something for us, it'll be something. It'll be some symbols. You know what I'm saying? Something symbolic. It'll be something like, "Hello, Roy Lightfoot here. I just want to let you all know that the city of Chicago will be painting the words Black Lives Matter on all the city light poles the week of Juneteenth. And we also will be distributing crack pipes sponsored by the Joe Biden administration."
Oh, Jesus.
That's it. That's the type of stuff we get.
Wait a minute, caller. Are you part of this Riis the Ruler Club? You sound like a Republican too, man. What are you doing, man? I'm starting to think y'all infiltrating the den. What are you, a Republican, man? Don't you know it's Chicago?
No.
You ain't out there.
No.
Y'all not out there. You not out there with Riis planning them commercials and y'all talk about the happy slavery days, are you?
No, I'm not that. I'm just saying, I peep it, man. I see what's going on, man. That's what I'm telling you. You can get Black Lives Matter painted on some street poles and justice for all, and that's gonna be your festival. Some signs. I'm telling you, it's like that everywhere. She learned from the NFL.
Dang, we getting played again. So the callers see Riis, you starting to be a bad influence on people, man. You turning them into look, man, we supposed to be happy here. I hate it here. I really do. Because I just feel like I was watching that. First of all, so let me back up. I was watching the Reggaeton Festival. And I was saying, first of all, she got it wrong because I was mad about the Diaspora comment. They took that down. Then I got bothered by the fact that they were having this announcement during Black History Month. Then I started thinking about the fact that if I was white, I'd be mad. If I'm from Chicago, I'm like, hold on. You telling me Lollapalooza and South Beach Fest, so somebody from Brazil and somebody from is coming here to make all that money? They about to make, I mean, think about this. I think we did the math on Lala. It was $600 million made over 3 days. Let's just say, so basically people walked away with $250 million and took it out of our city and left. I'm here to tell you. Riis, I feel like they used to, like, I don't even think you would be able to do that in Chicago back in the day. I feel like, you know, this is a case of it's sweet in Chicago. Remember when I was talking about that? Remember we was talking about the power thing and Tommy, and now how Chicago used to be a place where you couldn't, like, you would not have been able to do that in Chicago. But we sweet now. I'm starting to actually believe we sweet. Can you imagine the conversation when somebody from Puerto Rico says, hey, I want to come to Chicago and make $300 million in a weekend? Say what you want to say about Daly, but some black people some Chicagoans was going to be eating on that. She called all the way to Puerto Rico to tell people to come. And it ain't going to be a local festival, Riis. It's going to be one of them international festivals. So it's going to be all out-of-town money being made by out-of-towners. Think about that. Like, it's one thing when the out-of-towners come and we make the money. And I think about that, and then I want to pivot to Nipsey's, which, and I'm going to be honest, I don't know too much about it, except for I know that it occupies the vacant space that used to be Leona's on the south side. And I remember when we were all excited about Leona's opening up on the south side in the 8th Ward, and then they went out of business and left a vacant location. Teddy Gilmore was involved in Drink House. What was the other one that I can't remember the other one. Drink House, which is the most recent one. And there was one I can't remember the one on Chicago Avenue. But Teddy has been creating, let me say this. He's got to be considered one of the founders of the modern day Chicago entertainment industry. I think that brother had a vision back in the 90s that was inconceivable to us back then. I gotta say, he was the creator of the big party. Riis, and when I say the big party, I'm talking about you gonna pay $50 to go to the party, but you was gonna be dressed up, but it was at some place that you had never heard of before. Like, you would never think, like, this brother had parties at places like the Museum of Science and Industry, the State of Illinois building, the Union Hall, like the Transportation, Yvette's Winter Garden, like parties where thousands of people would show up, Riis. Thousands. Not hundreds, thousands. And they would be showing up with their cars clean and dressed to impress. And it set off a firestorm. Eventually they stopped them from being able to get those large venues, right? Because, like, I think what Teddy realized was all of these places have a rental agreement, right? You can rent pretty much any building anywhere, and Teddy actually did it. But what started happening was black people started coming. And so imagine you rent out the Sears Tower, and then you look up and you see that, you look like it's 5,000 Negroes in my lobby, having a good time, drinking, partying, kicking it. But also what happened, Riis, is over time, like things that start up way up here. You know how like a club will start and initially like all the bourgeois elite they'll start going, and then over time, then like the rest of the hood starts to find, and then it's like a migration, right? Like black people, so like usually a hot white club stays hot, then black people ain't welcome. Then it falls off, and then they bring black people in, and then the the bougie black people start coming, and they start making it hot. Then it starts to spread to the hood, and then the hood starts coming, and the hood ballers mix with the corporate ballers, and the corporate ballers bounce out because they like, man, and then the brothers with bottle service who done been on the block, who done worked up, and the whole crew done came out, and the crew showing out, right? And it's kind of like a cycle. But real talk, the money, real money, usually is not the person that's buying the bottle or the glass or the drinks. It's the people that's coming doing the bottle service, right? And the guys would come and stunt. And so there eventually became I feel like there's tiers of kicking it, right? And I feel like right now there is 0 tiers for black people at really any level. If you want to do something, real talk, I mean, I know I'm sorry, dang, it's Black Restaurant Week too. Shout out to Black Restaurant Week. But Riis, we got limited spots for the number of black people that are here. Would you agree? And that's restaurants. Now, if you talk about entertainment and kicking it, if you ain't going to a hole in the wall, you really don't have any place to kick it as a black person in Chicago in mass. Like, where can black people go to kick it? And so you watch them get run out of downtown. You've watched there is really no place where black people are welcome in mass downtown, where all of the nightlife is. And usually those places hire big black people to scare other black people away. Because the white people that own the establishments don't really, right? And so then there is a liability against black people getting a liquor license. So we wind up finding ourselves trying to navigate the system because there is no safe place for black people in Chicago. So now we have Nipsey's, which goes and occupies a place, and shout out to Michelle Harris for saying that she had heard of the reputation of Teddy, but I would say that a lot of that reputation is not him. A lot of that reputation is the people that Riis, if you have people that come to your event and you keep the event clean on the inside and everything is right, it's like you really can't control what people do on the outside. With white folks, the police, like if you go down on Division, when all them white folks come out drinking and throwing and doing all that stuff, the police are there as assistants, right? Because they recognize that is their economic area. And I saw you, Twin, when Twin said the young people over there be tripping. But I do think that there has to be, first of all, we're older. Secondly, I do think that there has to be a safe place for black people to go. And let's say that a place like, so Riis, if Nipsey's can't operate in a black neighborhood, where is it that black people in the nightlife space can go? Like, I think when I was growing up, we had E2. And yeah, they had some problems, but we had E2 in the clique. And it's like there was a point when you graduated, right? You knew that if you went to E2 or the clique at a certain point, you knew that was the hood's night out. So you might go to somewhere else. But we knew that it was but if you wanted a night out, there was a place for everybody to go. There is, if we can't open up in our own neighborhoods, where is it that we do go? Now, tell me if you live over anywhere by Nipsey's, or if you live over in the area, people say, the neighbors have been complaining. They say people come outside, they pee in their neighborhood, they pee in their garages, and they double park, and they do all that stuff. Riis, have you ever been over on Division?
Of course.
If you're on Division at the end of the night, it's the same complaints, right? But they're not trying to shut their clients down. And I know people say it's the clientele, but guys, there is a component in our community that is our community. Where is it safe for black people to be? Tell me a place in Chicago where black people can go. Not Riis, not me. Because I'm going to the restaurant, I'm going home. Right? Hope the restaurant got some nice music. Right? Good, maybe a couple cocktails. Shoot, I'm ready to go to sleep by 9. So I'm not, but I do feel like there has to be a place for young people to be able to go. And if it ain't Nipsey's, right, where do they go? Where is it that black people have in this city, Chicago, that they are welcome? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. Is there anywhere in Chicago, Riis, that black people are welcomed in mass? Like, why is entertainment for black people bad and entertainment for white people good? Like, why is it that there can be 100 bars with loud white people outside in all of these neighborhoods?
Man, listen, black people can't be black all the time. So, when you gotta, that's why it's called a thing code switch. So when you're around certain neighborhoods, you can't do what you're doing in your neighborhood. So, that's why they calling on the black people, because they ain't in their neighborhood. You go to your neighborhood.
No, but so I'm saying this though, Riis. Nipsey's is in a black neighborhood. Do we shut the business down? And if you do, where is it that black people can go? Like, where is it? Remember how New York used to have the tunnel? No, you don't, because you're a baby. All right. So, like, to me, if you got a certain, like, at E2, once they accepted who they were, they had the people they had the right people to put the smack down on the space. And real talk, it was a perimeter around E2. Now, you could take that joint 4 blocks away, but if you was caught within XYZ range of E2 and you did something bad, can I tell you that was going to reflect negatively on the club? Or you knew it was a price to pay, because it was the only place we had.
I don't even think we do clubs like that no more. It's so many like little small black owned places that people be like going to, that I low key go to a couple of, like I find them ironically on TikTok, and then I look them up. It'd be like black owned restaurants that you should check out, and they be so like low key. So like I go to it, and it's like different spots that we just go now. It's not like you said, it's not like an E2. So like when I was growing up, party promoting, we had the Shrine. Like the Shrine was the place to be on Saturday night. You go to the, it was Hearts at one point, 858. It's I don't think we, especially with COVID, I don't think we do clubs like that no more. Like everything is like, like a smaller venue type of place, like brunches is like popping now or something like that. So.
Okay. Well, I mean, so why is Nipsey's, do you think, having so many problems there? Do you think, like, I feel like in a city of, let's say, 600,000 black people, what's 50 or 100 people? Right? Like, I guess, so do we have a place to exist? So should they be able to exist, or should the community be able to shut them down?
I mean, they should, but I mean, maybe.
Wait, who is they should what?
They should be able to exist, but at the same time, like, that don't mean that I guess they are they actually doing what the neighbors are calling?
So let me
about?
ask a question. So let's just say that they do parking. The neighbors have taken pictures of people parking across their yards and all of that. What responsibility do the patrons have? Right? Like, what responsibility do black people who have come into a neighborhood and want to kick it have? You know, like, Riis, you know how, like, when you be somewhere and it be like, all right, y'all, I'm in the hotel. We got a hotel room. And we kicking it, but y'all got to keep the volume down. Y'all know it's rules. Y'all cannot be smoking because that's going to get out in the hallway. But we still want to have, like, what role do the people have to respect the community? And is there a way to mutually coexist? Like, because you know, if you tell a shorty, like, hey, Joe, like, you know, if you come outside and somebody on their way to the club and they just decide they parking across your driveway.
Just like in my driveway.
Or
they
my driveway. Or park across it. Like, people say they had to go home early enough because if they out on Saturday night, people will park, and if you ask them to move their car, you could potentially have an issue. How do we coexist? How do we create safe spaces for ourselves? Because it's like we wind up, like, they tried to kick it. They tried to do something downtown.
So they tried to kick it, and they couldn't find no parking, and they parked in front of somebody's driveway. Mm-hmm. That was wrong, man.
I agree.
So they just don't want them to park in front of.
So what does the venue do?
I mean, they could, like, I've been to some venues where they always, like, where the DJ will come on the mic, say they don't block no driveway, they will be towing cars, or you just, you know, and that's another way. Like, you just team up, say, hey, man, I don't want my business closed. I know, you know, the city about some money. Hey, listen, man, I'm open this time, man, these days. If the cars park wrong, tow them. And all you do as the DJ, you come in there and say, if you park your car in front of fire, you park your car in front of residential, that's a blocking they drive away, your car will be towed. I feel like that's an owner idea on my part. I appreciate you coming out.
Right. But now the community is so when the people, you've done your part as the owner, but you've brought that business to the community, right? And so the community ain't like, we ain't gonna be able to talk to JoJo, and if my car get towed, JoJo, they gonna say, JoJo gonna come up when he come out the house, when he come out the club and his car ain't there, he walking up to my door. Now, Riis, you saying no. Riis. So Riis, you saying if you parked across somebody's yard, correct, you knew you were.
Yes.
You came out and it was towed, but you already on 10. You telling me you ain't, if I'm the neighbor, I'm thinking this mug might just walk up to my door and be like, hey, you had my mom car towed?
No, I'm going to figure out where my car is towed because I illegally parked. That's what I just did.
Hey,
Illegally parked.
But Riis, you're speaking, if you illegally parked in front of someone's driveway knowing so.
And my car's gone when I get out?
Yes. But I'm saying, Riis, you also more than likely, not you, but if you think about some of the people, the risk of, if you saw the tow truck taking your car, you know, and you outside with your guys and y'all came out, somebody gonna do something. So I'm just telling you. I guess my question is, what responsibility does the business owner have compared to the community? Because if someone, let's say they do tow, the neighborhood is like, my wife still had to walk 2 blocks to get into her driveway until the tow truck came. Because that business is over there and these Negroes are over here. How do we...
So you sign a petition to get it to where your block could be allowed by permit parking. If that's an issue, then that's what you do.
Riis, I'm saying I lived in my block for 20 years. And you telling me now, because I have this business here, and the same people who were willing to park across my driveway do not care about the permit parking sign on the block. Riis, how do we find a happy medium for black people to exist? I'm just saying, like, we know, let's just say this. Inside the facility, I bet you they got every kind of security, knowing the people. It ain't finna happen inside.
Right.
But once it gets outside, who's the issue? Whose responsibility is it to make sure that the community isn't inconvenienced?
I mean, if it's not in front of my property, if I got him off the property, I know even though they just came from that, he's no longer my.
So then and let me just tell you. So if I've lived, and this is kind of the challenge. If I lived in a neighborhood, I'm gonna tell you, I'm 100% for creating a space for young black people to kick it. But I will tell you, as an older person now, if I come home and like say it's a Bulls game and the block is blocked up because I can't park because it's people from somewhere else, I'll be like, hey Joe, and I can't get the United Center closed, but if a bar moved into my neighborhood and made it impossible for me to park, I would organize. And I think or let me better yet say, I probably wouldn't if they park, but if I knew that I was going to have negative impacts, like I had to clean up the beer bottles and the drinks and the whatever, and I was going to have to clean up the urine and all of that good stuff because people came out.
You should go to the business first and explain it to the business, like, hey, man, I know you just started a new business here, but I've been living here for about 20 years, and this really don't, really
that's
go
what
like
the alderman is saying, right? The community, when they ain't going to go, Riis, you going to tell her, okay, so I'm going to just say this. You probably not going to the business. You're probably going to the elected official that brokers the scenario, right? In the space, because if they tell you, I wonder, how do we exist? I don't know. Like, does the business then say, I'm going to be proactive and every night I'm going to clean within 3 blocks of my place?
I mean, you ain't got
2 blocks.
So you just clean in front of your area.
See, but it's the complaints ain't coming from in front of your area. The complaints are coming from the people who live behind you, who, when you say I got to walk and park a block away to get to the place because the parking lot is full, and they sat in the car, they drank, they did their thing, and then they came into space and they tossed everything out in front of my joint, right? And you want to stay open, that's a cost of doing business to me.
See, but then you starting to, like, a lot of people just kicking in drinks, so like, and now you starting to put like everybody, so like, now how do I say which trash is mine and which trash? So now you accusing every liquor bottle or every blunt paper out there just because it's in a 2-3 blocks radius that those can be my people? Is that what you're saying?
Here's what I'm saying. I'm saying, okay, so this is me. If I want to keep my business, I'm going to recognize my audience, my crowd, and then I'm going to put in the extra stuff I got to do, right? So it may not be that I clean up everything. It may be that I offer to have once a week an additional street sweeper come by, right? I'll pay the service for some, but I do feel like you got to accommodate the neighborhood. Then if you move into a neighborhood and you recognize that you reverberate 5 blocks in every direction, I think you have to take that into account. Now, and if you don't, then it is the ability of the community to go to use their power to close the business down.
But I should definitely think you should speak to the owner first, especially if it's black people, and because that's the first thing that they want, black people. They want your own people to go and complain about it. So now, like, your own people against you. Approach the owner first, like, hey, I don't know if that's what I always think. Go to them first. Say, I don't want to go to the alderman or anybody about this, stuff like that. But what I'm saying, so they were like, because then that they may feel like, oh, okay, well, before it even get to that, like, man, like, have you ever lived somewhere and your neighbors called the police on you, and then he was like, you could have really just knocked on my door and told me I was loud. But okay, so like, I have, and that's why I feel like before you even escalated that, like, we're neighbors. You could have, if I offended you in any way, like, I apologize. I don't know if everybody would take that way, but like, I would rather you come to my place of business and be like, hey man, I've been here for 20 years. I'm like, oh man, you know what, man, I apologize.
What if I live 4 blocks away though?
I probably ain't even gonna listen to you. I'm probably gonna be like, yeah, okay, but four blocks away, I don't know nobody's gonna walk 4 blocks.
Let me say 2 blocks.
2 blocks, I can see that. 2 blocks.
I feel so I think that
But I think we as a people should really look at that. So now that they complaining about us as a people throwing it out, so you just tell your people, hey man, when y'all come here, y'all, this is hey, don't throw your trash out. Like why we just can't tell a lot of people, don't throw your trash out. Like we gotta always
Reis,
find
why
a
we
way
gotta
to
tell 'em?
accommodate. Huh?
I'm saying, here's me.
Everybody ain't raised right.
Hey, if I pull into a neighborhood and first of all, I'm not throwing nothing out. I just don't litter, period. But if I pull into a neighborhood and I see the people and I realize, like, I just don't, where are black people welcome in Chicago? Like, where is it a place that black people are welcome?
Everywhere. But you
in mass.
Everywhere, but you just can't be all the way black. You know what I'm saying? You got to switch code. You know, you got to have that acceptance black. You know how you turn, you're like, hey, like, you know how you put the little uppity in your voice when you talk? You know, like you got to, it's a different, you know, like we just can't be black people all the time. So like we got to be the version of them that they would be like, hey, okay.
But we could do that when we go, but we wouldn't do that in our own neighborhood?
Nah. We amongst ourselves.
So we should litter our own neighborhood.
We shouldn't, but that's how it'd be.
So if I spend my whole time, okay.
And that's why you see that's why you see black people get places that's not in the hood or somewhere that's, you know, south of, you know, like in the Loop area or somewhere.
No, that's why black people is always trying to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Out of their community, because, yeah.
I know. No matter what, I know Lil Ray gonna come right here. I know they gonna load it in front of my place. No matter how many times, no matter how many signs I got up.
So wait. So you with the people from Nipsey's, or you with the community? Because what if they went to they already said that they, right? If the community already said, hey, to the business owner, look, yo, this is a problem. Like, let's back up. They started out by saying, we know that you've had issues elsewhere. We're going to give you a chance, and we're going to put an agreement together in advance of what our expectations are. Like, here's your plan of operation. Here is what you're supposed to do, right? You sign it. We sign it. This is a community agreement that we have.
So now I feel like just because, you don't know, because of what I've been through before, and I'm in a whole new place. So now I can't have a new story, man. I mean, that happened over there. So like, why I got to bring?
So if the same thing though that has happened over there and over there,
but we got to start like you immediately already started me on the back. Hey man, I know your history, so I'm gonna need you to sign this. So now anything that come, I'm like, well, you already knew it. So how do I know if these are genuine now, or you just because I have a history of it now? So now you can just make alleged, you know what I'm saying? Reports. You know, you can make alleged reports. You know, you can, you can be like, hey, so like because you already saying because I had this past a bad experience other places that left, so like you're already on alert. Now
you shouldn't be
anything.
Should you not be?
Should I not be what?
On alert. If I know. So here's my thing. I feel like there's no real open spot for black people to go. So I feel my brother's pain and how they feel like they're being played. I feel like Reis, this is an extreme example, but if you're a child molester and you move to a different city, does that change who you are? Now, I'm not suggesting that the brothers are. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is I would be foolish not to look at your history and then say, here, let me put some guardrails up so that where I saw you had a challenge here and a challenge here, let's not face those challenges.
Have you ever done something and now you are different? So like, have you ever did something that was like, I just say 20 years ago?
We wasn't 20 years ago.
No, but like I'm just saying.
Like
so
two.
Okay, but so now what you're trying to tell me is that like a person can't change? I can't change?
People don't change.
Really?
People don't change. They may act differently, but people don't change. Like fundamentally you are who you are. Like, people don't change. They may change their action, they may change their behavior, but people do not change. I'm saying, like, can you have corrective action? Can you recognize flaws? Yeah, but people don't change. Let's go to the live line. Caller, you on the Maze Jackson Show. How do we find a happy balance between our need to have, like places for black people to go and respecting the neighborhoods that we're in? Caller, you on the Maze Jackson Show.
Hey, what's going on, family? What's cracking? What's going on with it, though?
What up, Mr. Vice President? How you feeling? I can't wait to see y'all tonight over at Ada Park, 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock.
Hey, man, everybody come out, man. Even if you ain't from 34, come out and support us, man. You know what I'm saying? We all we got. Hey, bro, I agree with Riis, dog. The community does have a say, but it's the policy that puts these businesses in the trick bag. So if, from my understanding, they had an agreement, they were going to be a restaurant, all right, fine, and they need to be a restaurant. But in the bigger picture, it needs to be a location where black entertainment can thrive and be a viable business. And again, that's going to be done with policy. How does the Family Den and what's the dating game? The Family Den and the dating game been on Stony since I've been in Chicago. So, and that's only 2 blocks away. So, them businesses been there for that long. Then why can't this business be there and it's new? Something ain't adding up. You can clean around the business, you know what I'm saying? But like you said, if you park in the front of my crib, man, I'm gonna get your car towed. What else I'm gonna do?
So I gotta tell you, shout out to Devin. I think the two businesses I think there's a different crowd. I think if you talk about the 2 other locations, there are people that are. First of all, I say that they drink and pee and do all that other stuff too. But are we gonna say that there's a difference between a 40-year-old crowd and a 20-year-old crowd? There's a way bigger difference. Way bigger difference. And I think. See, I feel like there's a happy medium. I don't want to see the business close, but as a 50-year-old man who knows what it's like to have 25-year-olds outside, I think you gotta recognize. Like, I think there are certain precautions or certain steps that you have to take when you are in certain businesses. And whenever you operate in certain places. Because when they go to white neighborhoods, the white folks be like, you got to operate this way, this way, this way. And I think that you cannot. Yeah, I think there's a difference between the dating game.
So the white people tell me I got to act like this way when I get here. Then I go to my
Riis.
own people, and then my own people then accept me like that. So where
Riis,
I go?
So Riis, so if you live in a neighborhood, right, do you agree that post-concert or post-events, especially in young, let me not say especially in young, but would you agree that there is a difference between how 40-year-olds kick it and 20-year-olds kick it?
Agreed. Just depend on the venue.
Let me ask the question, Riis. I would be honest with you and say I wouldn't want to look outside my window and see somebody smoking in their car and drinking outside of my house. The call-in number is 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. Riis, I'm going to tell you, I wouldn't.
Would you call the police?
No, I wouldn't call the police, but I really would be like, damn, dog, y'all straight up, y'all going to sit out and park in front of my house and smoke and drink? I would have a problem with that.
What's the problem?
Like, damn, Joe, go to your house. Like, Riis, and me and my cousin smokes and drinks. But I don't feel like I don't feel like I want random people from outside of my neighborhood sitting, smoking, and drinking. And I feel like and sitting in their car, smoking, drinking, playing their music, and kicking it in. And it's in my, like, I look out my front window, and that's what I see. That's just not my imagination of my existence. Like, when I look out, 872-25, oh, here, I'm going to post it. 872-259-7474. Riis, when I look out my front window, now I recognize that I'm 50, right? So that's a problem. Like, am I going to call the police? No. But would I, if my son wanted to go out front? I certainly would walk up to the car and be like, family, man, I got kids. I got my son out here. I got my kid, my granddaughter. Can y'all please move along? Now, you know the reality of that is, for what you said, right? But I think that it's almost outlandish that I can't have that expectation in my neighborhood. Like, I really don't, like, obviously I live in a space where wait a minute, what you mean? I'm very confused, Maze. I don't want to call the police. No, it's not a problem for you when somebody's sitting outside your house smoking and drinking and playing music.
As long as I ain't disturbing my sleep, nope.
Yeah, that's a problem for me.
Nah, as long as you ain't.
I'm an old man. You got the windows down. So I gotta smell your weed. Y'all gotta smell your weed in my house.
If I can smell it, just know the when that popo roll by, they gonna smell it too. I just be sitting there laying down until I see them flashing lights. Be like, there you go. But I mean, I wouldn't call. I just, me, I'm mama. If they down there, playing their music, I guess it'd be okay. Ain't nobody.
I feel like.
See, but I grew up in a city, so that's something that we did in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? So I guess in Bolingbrook, it's probably like quiet at nighttime. So like in Chicago, especially out west, like we used to having, fifis as they call it on the block. So we used to having like people play music and do all that loud music till late. So it
right, but it was their block.
No, people that pulled up like
they was invited to the block by somebody on the block.
Okay, so now what you trying to say?
I'm saying that if you came to a party at a club and you decide y'all finna turn up on my block.
I'm finna pregame.
On my block. In front of my house.
I ain't want to drink and drive. I waited till I got there.
Give us a call, 872-259-7474. I think
it's littering to me. I would just don't litter. Just if you want, it's okay.
It's crazy to me to think that that people feel like it's okay to pull up in front of somebody's house, turn up your music, and have a party in the car before you go to the party.
Nah, I'm not with the loud music and interrupt. Like if it's not my block, I will not play loud music. You know what I'm saying? But if we pull up, we just in the car like before. You know how girls got to put 5 shades of more makeup on. So
that's different than pre-gaming in front of my house. That's different than busting a bee down, letting it out in front of the yard, putting it out. Man, we sitting there, we having our cups of drinks before we go in. Now, and I'm saying if it's me and I own the facility, I'm going to have people in my crew because I recognize that if I'm going to stay here, I don't want to have beef. Because if I'm an alderman, let me just be clear. Why, and I just want you to understand the perspective of the alderman because I want there to be a happy medium. But if I'm the alderman and I got voters compared to some Negroes who own a business but don't live in my neighborhood and they gonna lose me votes, oh no, we'll shut your ass down. Regardless, because it's about self-interest at that point. And so to me, that you have had a challenge operating south everywhere else. The last place you can't not mess is at the crib. So all I'm saying is I have an extra cost of doing business in my neighborhood. Same cost I would have in the white neighborhood because they would be on me too. I would just have to provide a security plan, 300. I say when we used to, I used to have a club reunion. Do you remember reunion? So Reunion was a club that was on Lake Street. And part of, as Lake Street was developing, part of we got was people would always complain to the alderman that at the end of the night, there was bottles and stuff left. And so what became part of the job was, yo, you got who, whether it's security, whether it's staff, somebody got to walk this block. And
how many blocks are you walking?
Riis, I mean, I'm saying it was what was necessary. I think that case, it was 1 block. I'm saying that if I know that this is the lot that everybody parks in, or if I know that this is the block that is going to give me the problem because it's directly behind, guess what I'm on, Riis? I'm on cleaning up, and I'm on being there at 9 o'clock in the morning so the community can see me taking responsibility for my joint. Not saying, man, them niggas ain't from around me. They came to my establishment. Well, family, they came to the neighborhood because of your establishment, respectfully. So in being a good partner,
I feel like there's no medium there because now you can just clean that 1 block. So now if somebody parked 2-3 blocks, like now you almost cleaning every so it's like not like, oh man, he good, but they were like, well, he ain't cleaning my block, and now everybody gonna be.
But you have what effort before you tell me that? What effort do you make to be? You know what I'm saying? Like, because it may not be 2 blocks, and I'm saying, and again, there's a reasonable. Like now, I'm gonna go look at your block. I'm gonna be like, now I don't know that we there 5 blocks. Like I'm with you with the 3 block thing, but I do think that there is a space in this place where you gotta recognize, Riis. If I gotta. Just think about this. Think about every time somebody starts here at WIIFTBP or at Maze Jack or Works For Me, and you hear whatever the previous people say. You start from that space, right? People gonna tell you, and you have to make your own judgment. Now you have to say, well, let me see what my experience is what the neighborhood said, right? Everybody else said don't.
Let them see what the experience, but you already made me sign, like you already told me, like I had to sign some stuff, like, so you didn't even let me see first. You already came in there with
Riis,
the
if you banned, if you on a list where they say you really shouldn't be, like if I call my colleague, if somebody called me up and say, hey man, I say I want to hire Riis, they be like, man, Riis gave me problems, and when he left, he broke the equipment on the way out the door. And then I call another person, I say, man, I'm about to hire Riis. And they say, man, Riis broke the equipment on the way out the door. Right? And then I call somebody else and I say, I'm about to hire Riis. And they say, Riis broke the equipment out the door. Am I foolish to say, hey, Riis, I'm going to hire you, but you got to sign a piece of paper that say you ain't going to break the equipment when you go out the door?
And what's going to stop me from that paper?
No, but guess what? So now here you are, and you broke the equipment. And so everything, right? Because now, let's say, Riis, they said, if you bring dude, you're going to have noise complaints and a certain crowd. That's what the downtown person says. Then the next person says, look, fam, no bad things, but if you hire dude, you're going to have a certain crowd. They're going to come. They're going to do their thing. You're going to have these certain issues. I'm still going to give you a shot. You talk to a third person, they say, these are the issues that you are going to have. Not even you're a bad person, but I'm telling you now, you know that you attract a certain crowd. And we know that we have limited locations for black folks to go, so you know it's going to be concentrated now in the hood because it's closer, they can get to it, etc. So here's what we're going to do. We're not going to listen to the 20 people who told us don't do it. What we're going to do is say, family, we're going to give you the chance. We're going to mutually agree to these terms.
But why are we the reason why we are mutually agreeing to these terms is because of what the other people told
us. Or
you.
Then you don't have to open.
But I'm telling you, so in a way, you really did listen to what they just said. Because if you didn't listen to what they just said, then
I don't think that I am saying, nobody's saying we didn't listen to it. I'm saying your reputation, you can't escape your reputation. Now, what you can do is you can prove that in this situation, it's not going to be the thing. But if you are a consummate material breaker, right? If you don't break it this time, then I'm the lucky person, and I'm glad that I found that out. And I'm glad that my experience with you is what it is. But the moment that the same things that everybody told me, it's the I told you so moment. Now, it's a trial period. It's a year later.
So
we ain't got
looking for that now. You see how you
dog,
already looking for it?
No,
Like
I'm going to say this.
That's
so
how it is.
I'm going to say this. This is what I would say. I would say that I would say that we have to do right by all parties. And I think we have to come up with the rules of engagement. But I also think we got to have a place for our young people. I would tell you that I believe that Nipsey's, that Teddy, that Bootsy provide a much needed resource for our young people. A venue where they can go, they can eat, they can drink, they can party, they can kick it. I think it is the economy that I have seen that have rebuilt neighborhoods. I would tell you that I remember the West Loop was all of those people. And then when the club people came, it then birthed a new neighborhood. But I just think we got to figure out, like, we got to have a real conversation with, what do we really want to do with us? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Anybody live in that neighborhood? Oh, we got 3 callers. Is Alvin on that call? Is there an Alvin on there? On the caller list? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. All right, go to the phones. Just go to the caller. Call you on the Maze Jackson Show. Is there a place black people are welcome in Chicago, especially our young people in entertainment? Hello?
Good morning, Maze.
Good morning.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. I'm calling because I'm listening to what you're saying, and I'm a senior. I'm 70 years old. I used to live in Chicago, and I'm a partier. I used to be a partier, and there were a lot of places black people couldn't go. But what I was calling for is that you have a nice establishment over there on 55th Street, and I was wondering if you ever thought about opening that up for young adults or whoever to party, because you really have a nice establishment there.
No,
parking, you got food over there.
And you know what? It is.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It is the private meeting place of the What's in It for the Black People team, our family, right? Like, there isn't really a lot of places for people to go. So that is essentially where we meet and we convene and we have a place of our own so that we don't have to be run away or put out. So I'm not, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not equipped to deal with the needs of young party goers, because I remember when we was doing it, we was rowdy, right? We came into the club, we was drinking, we was kicking it, we was coming to stunt, right? And so I understand that, but there's got to be a place for that, and you got to grow. And you were a partier, so you mature. But no, I'm definitely not. TP is really for those thought leaders and black folks who are trying to have a place to be. But thank you, and I appreciate your sentiments on my location. Caller, you're on the Maze Jackson Show. Do black people have a place in this city? Caller, you there?
Hey, is it Hello?
Hello?
Ryder.
Oh, it's Alvin.
Hey,
y'all check it out. It's Alvin Ryder.
Yes,
Alvin is the former young Democrat. Alderman Burnett always talks about we was young Democrats together. But Al Ryder, if you ever see Alderman Michelle Harris, he is the other 6'5" guy that is with her, because she got a big old huge security team. Al, I know you all have been in the 8th Ward forever. And, the 8th Ward has Pill Hill, and it is probably, I would say, part of what I would consider the crown jewel of black middle classness.
Yeah.
And I remember when Nipsey's was Leona's, and we were all excited about the restaurant. And then I saw it sit vacant for years. And I'll be honest with you, I was excited to know that Teddy and Bootsy were going to be there because it was going to be a restaurant. But I kind of had a sense that, you know, just like Kitchen and Cocktails, you know, black folks want to dance and shake it when they had a restaurant. So why is it that we can't seem to get a happy medium over there? What's going on, brother? What am I missing? What don't we know?
Yeah. All right. Well, let me fill you in. I heard something called Larry Tate wanted to address a few points. So let's go back. So when Teddy approached the alderman, said, "Hey, Alderman Michelle Harris, hey, I'd like to open a restaurant." Keep in mind, a restaurant. So sure, invited her over to drink halls, even though the younger staff that you mentioned knew sort of his background, knew some of the problems that he had. I knew a little bit. She said, "Al, let's go forward." Got him a $250,000 grant. Made sure he got that NOF to get open, trying to make him successful.
Wait, back up.
Yes, sir.
Stop. Say that again.
Michelle Harris made sure Nipsey, Teddy Gilmore, whoever the owners are, on paper, got a $250,000 grant from the Neighborhood Opportunity Fund to open that place. I worked with Teddy from day one to get through his licensing issues, through the building department issues, and said to him all along, "Hey, man, I don't know what I can say on the show. Don't F the alternate. Don't screw us, man. We know your background. We know what happened. We will still give you a chance." That is what Michelle Harris did for Teddy Gilmore. Now, moving forward, got through the licensing piece. There was a huge freezer in there that the city wanted him to pull out. His inspection, do the inspection, wanted him to pull out $10,000, helped him with that, got him around that. Then when we made it close to, we built it out, beautiful place. There was a stage. He put a stage there. City says, "Hey, Al, hey, Alderman, what's up with this stage? We're going to have him tear that out." Said, "Hey, Teddy, what's up with the stage?" "Oh, we want to do cooking shows, man. We want to do, we don't want to, it's different. We want to do cool." City Alderman, "Hey, let him go ahead and get past it and get open." Right now, he comes back and says, "Hey, we want to do a PPA, right? A public place of amusement." I said, first he said, "Well, first he considered it, but then we said, no, let's not do that. Let's see what kind of business owner he's going to be, Teddy." I went to him. He went forward anyway. Went to the hearing with his attorney, and then, in fact, it wasn't even him at the hearing. It was somebody else. Went forward and said no. We said, "No, we're not going to support that." I said, "Teddy, just go ahead and get open, man. Let's see what kind of business owner you're going to be. How you going to treat the community." But no, man, we want this PPA. I said, she already said no. So we're going to wait and see. We can visit that later. Just get open. Got open, and he did exactly what everybody said he was going to do. I got brawls. We got 20, 30 people brawling. Girls more, which is what's really crazy. Girls brawling outside, impacting these neighbors. That is Michelle Harris's responsibility. Blackstone, Harper, and he was crossing over to Peel Hill, twerking, to your point earlier. Twerking, dancing on cars, the pre-party, sitting in cars, smoking and drinking. And a lot of the seniors on the Peel Hill side are afraid to speak up. So Michelle Harris, their voice. That is what she does. That is her job. So we went in one time and said, "Hey, man, I hear you having a DJ party." He denied it. No. We sent the investigators and sure enough caught him, gave him a cease and desist. That's been multiple times, man. So we have consistently given him a chance. And these folks are pissed off with Michelle Harris. The neighbors are, the residents are. She has to address it. And that's the story. And it's not like it's the first time. He went through the same thing with Walter's Ward. Walter had the same issue in Greektown. Prior to that, he was in Brandon Riley's Ward. Brandon Riley got called a racist. He got called all kinds of names for dealing with the same issues we now deal with. And it's the crowd. But let me address one of your calls. Let me talk about the Den, the dating game, versus Nipsey's. The dating game, the Den has been there over 40 years, but they have an older crowd. And, of course, they have the issues, guys, like any other club, paper, trash, parking sometimes, depending on the event. If it's a Super Bowl Sunday, a lot of cars show up flowing into the neighborhood, but never fights, never brawls. There are hundreds of calls to the police for service witness. I'm talking about in the summer. It was at least at August when we met with them, and by the way, we did meet with them. It was at 1:30. We were at 1:30 or 1:40. The commander gave the list and gave the data. 130 calls for service at that one location. So we met with them in August. Hey, here's what the expectation is. Every bar owner, every restaurant has a plan of operation. It says, here are the things you can and cannot do. He signed it, or they signed it, whoever, they agreed to it in front of them only. You can't have parties. You can't have dance. You can't have, live DJs. He agreed. Of course, they violated that at every step, which is why the charges came. It's not us. It's not Michelle Harris doing it. It is that he's violating his plan of operation. He has a plan of operation, and he has to stick to the rules. And so flowing into communities, man, I'll give you another example. There's a police officer that lives, has a home right behind them. Not too long, this summer, I think September, October, they flowing out drunk, loud and rowdy girl urinates on her grass. She comes to her balcony at 3 a.m. Said, what are you doing? The young lady said, hey, it is what it is. And wipes herself and threw the tissue on the ground and got in that car and left. That's the kind of stuff we're dealing with, brawls and fights. That just can't happen. It just can't happen. So that is the alderman's perspective. That is our perspective that we deal with every day. Every weekend. So it's slowed down now because he's under the microscope, but that's what we deal with it.
So, Al, are y'all going to put them out? Is the goal to put them out of business? Is there anything that can be done to redeem them? Right? Because we know that there is no real place, and I'm just, let me finish this in there, because they're really, when we was and you was a little older than me, so you was probably Dej-Wise or something.
I'm a little older, yeah.
Right? But there has to be a place where we can let our young people do the young people thing, right? How do we kind of find a place? Because there does seem to be a dearth of black operations, and I do recognize that nobody wants fights and all of that stuff, but I do feel like that is a symptom of younger people. But are you going to put them out of business? Are you working against them?
Well, all we did, so here's what happened. It's not Michelle Harris or we're putting them out of business. Again, you have a document that you sign. Here are the rules that you need to follow. If you do not follow those rules, they will come in and address it. As a business, you have to respect the community. Every business, but restaurants, grocery store, whatever that is, you have to be respectful of how you treat the community you do business in. So what we've done is let the process play out. He has been caught multiple times, and that's a hearing process. They have rights. We don't want to see anybody lose their business, but is it at the cost of the community? He's renting that space, right? So you got homeowners that live over there who live, retired teachers, postal workers, who put all their life savings into a home, and now you have this nonsense. And so that's your point. I think it's all about location. I've been doing this long enough to understand that it's all about location. So depending on where you find a building or a location to have a club that doesn't impact a residential community is key. So restaurants are different. If you're a restaurant, be a restaurant. Don't say I'm a restaurant trying to be a club, because that won't fit into the neighborhood. So it depends on where you place it. On South Chicago, say on maybe, it depends. I can only speak to our boundaries that I'm familiar with. Places like South Chicago, the industrial corridor, there were no people living behind you that don't have the free party or the sitting in the car smoking and drinking, twerking on the top. Look, we got to see it for ourselves. We got to come out one night. Well, I had already known about it, but Alderman herself came out literally and got to see they're dancing on cars. And when the Alderman got on the block, she got outside at 1 a.m. with some other neighbors and said, hey, look, young lady, you can't park here. And the girl told her, F-U-B, I park where I want to park. It's my car in here. When I get back, it's going to be a problem. That's what they told the Alderman. So her face, a kid, young girl. So that's what we're dealing with. How do we fix it? I don't know. But the process is moving forward. He has rights. Nobody is trying to take his rights away as a business. But how does the alderman address it? How does she not would take the side of her community.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you not do that?
I think it's the conundrum. And it's like, I think the challenge that a lot of times we find ourselves in when we try to help our people, but they like, we all got some constraints. And I think nobody wants to wake up and see somebody. It's funny to me I feel like an old man when I'm listening to Riis say, it's okay for people to be sitting in front of your house. Like, wait, what? If I came outside, I looked outside and some people sitting in front of my house and they smoking and drinking in my car, I got a problem with that. And if
you blocking driveways, you blocking people. You had somebody pull up in front of your driveway and you can't get out, or you look out your window and somebody out there, and then you're scared to go confront them. At least I would do it, but that's not what some of the seniors, you know what I mean? I would say, hey man, what you doing? But that's not some of our seniors. They're afraid. I hear it. I can show you videos that I can show you multiple videos. Some I can't show because it identifies the house. But everybody's got Ring cameras. Everybody's got, and so you get to see it, and the collection of all the stuff that's been going on is what the process is going to have to go through and address. Now, I don't know what will happen once we get through the hearing process, but that's not on us now. That is in the law department's hands. That is with the agencies that manage businesses. That's what they do. The ACP and the Business Consumer Affairs Group, that's what they do. They have a whole set of investigators that all they do on the weekends is just roll around to businesses and check on them. If they're investigators with the police, if you are doing something outside of what your plan of operations says, or if you're impacting the community in negative ways, they go out and literally write citations, cease and desist orders. He has multiple cease and desist orders. And we went and we looked past the ones we first set of them, because we were like, look, man. And then he said, oh, man, I'm not DJing. No, we ain't DJing. We ain't got no live DJ. Sure enough, you can't have that on social media. You got to send me the video. The DJ or the bar or whoever was there sent the FaceTime, the Facebook video. DJ Mikey Mike is up next. Come on, man. You just told me you didn't have. But that's what we've been dealing with, man. So, she's fed up. She just fed up, man. So, and a lot of people around that facility is set up. It's such a nice place, man. They did a great job. Don't get me wrong. But how do it's his business model.
So,
I
Alvin,
think that's the question.
I think the challenge, and I think we see this all the time, it's a challenge for a black person to even get a liquor license. I think in the last decade, during the 90s and the 2000s, when it was shut down and dry up all the communities, we shut down and dried up, and there became this negative thing about black folks having liquor license. And then when I turn around in 27 or in the north side, all of those white boys open up their businesses. They can't even anticipate doing their business without having a liquor license. And we often have to have an incidental license to be able to try and do it. And so it becomes this whole kind of sneak thing where it's like, okay, let me get a restaurant so I get an incidental license. And then it evolves into a club, and it happens. And I just think we got to figure out some kind of way. And I think, with the alderman in such a powerful position and the Black Caucus, I think it would be, we got to start thinking about what do we do to create an environment for our young people. And I know that we don't want the brawls and all of that stuff, but we also know that we had an E2, we had a Click, we had a Heroes, we had all of those places that allowed us to grow up and mature. So we just got to figure it out. But think about the location that they were in. So they were out of the way of a residential rooftop community, because it's impacting people's quality of life. That's what this is about. And that's what I think.
So we just got to find a place for this.
Yeah, I think our audience, and that's the thing I think when I have a unique perspective, because as an alderman, right, the business doesn't vote. And the people that come to the neighborhood for the business are often not residents. And so the alderman, and even attempting to, that $250,000 neighborhood opportunity grant should at least let people know that it wasn't a conspiracy against them, right? That in and of itself should inform you. But I think understanding that, right, we got to recognize that black folks, we got a responsibility too. Look, y'all, Alvin, I'm going to say thank you for calling in, man. I appreciate you putting some perspective to that. And anytime we got the story, and you feel like we talking about it, please don't hesitate to give us a call. Look, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson.
No problem.
I appreciate you, bro. This is the Maze Jackson Show.
All right, bro.
That was Alvin Ryder. Ruthie, I think that was your chief of staff because you in the 8th Ward. Hey, I don't know. Y'all say Ruthie. I don't see no Ruthie. Ruthie is in the box because, you know, she came in on her day off. Actually, I keep forgetting because, you know, who works Mondays and Thursdays. So I printed out your thing today for you. So we got extra. Riis is like, we got the right. Anyway. So look, y'all. I love to talk to you, Teddy. I love to talk to you, Bootsy. Y'all more than welcome to come to the studio. These guys have been pioneers in the nightlife scene. I just think we got to find a safe place for our people. Like, we need that. Yeah, we need a safe place for our people. Look, it's the Maze Jackson Show. I am your host, Maze Jackson. For my man, DJ Riis the Ruler. For Ruthie Mo, who up in here, we got to do a neck check. We're going to be checking her neck before she leave and then when she come back because it's almost her birthday. What day is your birthday? Saturday. So Ruthie's birthday on Saturday. So y'all send us some cash apps. We'll put her cash up out there while she on the beach sipping pina coladas. Shout out to my man DJ Riis the Ruler. I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, we out of here.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover.